Someone who was raised very conservative and isn't now, I can tell when a white person has beliefs because they chose them, or if they have beliefs that they've had their whole lives, that they inherited from their family, that they've never questioned, and not just that they've never questioned, that they had to give something up for. As a consequence, however small, to them choosing this belief. There was tension in the family, maybe even complete ostracization. There was years of debates and emotional labor. And I do not equate these at all to what marginalized people go through. I think for me, when I see a lot of academics, while there is variety in the subject matter, that some fields do lean more conservative, some do lean more liberal, overall, most stats show us that professors will tell you that they are left-leaning. Notice who gets into their institutions and across the levels. Who gets picked for not just undergrad, graduate programs. I went to a Hispanic serving institution where like 80% of the students were not white. All but one of the people in my Ph.D. cohort were white. You see what I'm saying? All the admin, still white. Not practicing what they preach in these institutions. The same goes for many workplaces. It's not just academia, but other workplaces don't always have the same reputation as being very left-leaning. I think that's what happens if you haven't had to put anything on the line. Academics do. I mean, shit, education is definitely under fire. There's also a startling amount of, not necessarily just the professors, but the administration as well, that there's the fear you'll lose your job, and then there's doing something about it. A lot of white folks, especially on the left, we want the moral superiority of being seen as one of the good ones, not a non-practicing white, as I'm seeing now, which, I don't know, that just feels kind of gross. That seems like a cop-out. Without having to do any of the work when it stands for it. I think that's why people are upset with Ezra Klein right now. He wanted to debate about things without having any skin in the game. And actually, while becoming quite famous and making a lot of money for it. In my last group coaching session on my school, we have another one tomorrow, but in the last one, I think I was the only white person on the call. And so most of the people on the call were Black, and they were, asking me questions about white privilege and such, and what is that really like? Do you really not know it exists? And now I told them, I was I think half of white people will tell you it exists, and half won't. But even the half that we tell you we know it exists, we will still get defensive when called on it for us. And that's really hard, and I include myself in that. And another woman on the call, a Black woman, said that she honestly just feels like people believe the group they are around. They want to belong in their group more than they want to stand up for something. So people in bluer areas tend to say things that are more in line with bluer people, and people in redder areas say things more in line with redder. I think that's absolutely part of what goes on in universities, is even if you don't really believe it, you're not going to actually do anything you're not going to challenge the system in any way. You want to belong. You want to belong. And it doesn't change the world.